Today's video is going to be a little bit different. I wanted to sit down and share some optimism I have about Dreamhaven, the new production slash developer company that is coming out that is headed by Mike Morhaime and others. For those that don't know, a lot of these members that are currently on Dreamhaven were a core part of Team 1 and the identity they had over at Blizzard. I'm talking StarCraft 2, StarCraft Brood War, Warcraft 3, Heroes of the Storm. These are the folks that helped bring these games to fruition and made them so fun back in the day. I don't want to oversell these folks, but I also don't want to undersell them. To me, they are legendary. They created some of the best experiences that I watched my dad play and that I later on played over the span of 20 years. Incredible stuff came out of Team 1, and it was such a great infrastructure. Now, for those who don't know me, I was a community manager for Heroes of the Storm for about 4 or 5 years before I went full casting in into streaming and to content creation fully. And I had a few years to spend time with these people and really get to know them. And to be quite frank, I was excited to try their games. On April 10th, I'm going to be there trying a new game that's coming out from Dreamhaven. But then I saw a lot of discourse on the internet about, hey, we shouldn't really trust this, the graphics sucks, millennial speak has been thrown around on some of these games, and I wanted to just let you guys know that the people working on these future games that are coming out are fantastic human beings that care about gamers and are gamers themselves. So let's dive into what happened exactly in the whole Dreamhaven showcase that occurred on the Game Awards the other day. We'll talk about some of the games that are coming out, and we'll talk about why I'm really pumped for it. Let's hop in. So before we even talk about the games, I want to talk about the developers. There are some names here that you need to know, and if you don't know them, start to familiarize yourself with them because they are going to be instrumental until the day they decide not to work on games anymore. Alan DeBeery, Amy Morhaime, Ben Fisher, Chris Siggety, Dustin Browder, Ryan Morey, who is really good at video games by the way, and Stephanie Johnson are folks that I knew that were pure of heart at Blizzard. Everything they did was to make sure that they put out a great product or of course helped create a game that everyone wanted to play. Fun was always the focus. Now, for those that don't know how Blizzard used to work, I'm not familiar with them anymore. I kind of like flopped off after 2018 whenever Heroes of the Storm was killed off. And I've actually had a bit of like a heavy heart when it comes to those games. I'm trying to heal, all right? There were multiple divisions at Blizzard. It was Team 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and each team worked on a subset of games. Team 1, the team that I worked at Heroes of the Storm and StarCraft. And from what I understood, Team 1 really wasn't the moneymaker at Blizzard. It was mostly World of Warcraft and Hearthstone and Overwatch at the time as we were going up, but we were creating really awesome experiences that I know a lot of you have played. And there were some rumors about Team 1 that did circulate campus a little bit, and there were also jokes about World of Warcraft kind of keeping the lights on for Team 1, but Team 1 wasn't the moneymaker, right? They just made great epic experiences, and part of the reason why Team 1 was never dissolved from what I understood, or never disappeared or moved into other teams, is because of Mike Morhaime. Mike Morhaime loved RTSs. He loved playing those games, and he was like, if I'm going to be a CEO of a company, I am going to make sure the games I love are being made. And so Team 1 was kind of a black sheep over at Blizzard, from what I understood. And the shield, the man, the one that really helped and allowed that to happen was Mike Morhaime. So with him being a CEO of Dreamhaven, I know for a fact this company is going to be in good hands. He will always put players first, and he will make sure that everyone's taken care of and the people there have a great culture. So I'm excited for him existing. I mean, listen to it yourself.
And the idea of what if we joined forces to try to create something really special, a place where game developers and creators could focus on making things they're really passionate and excited to make, an environment where people could do their best work, and really a goal of trying to create games that brought people together in positive ways and really just support them in doing their best work.
Now, his wife, Amy Morhaime, has been his partner in crime for years. And Amy, I have nothing but positive things to say about her. Amy Morhaime is a go-getter. If she wants something done, she will walk up to somebody and talk to them heart to heart and get it done within a team, because she also cares just as much as Mike does. They are legitimately one of my favorite duos in gaming because of how they put their hearts into their product, but they have the minds and the capacity to make sure things get done. So this is a great team to start off with. Now, obviously, I don't want to run down and point out every single dev and talk about their pros and cons or whatever. I feel like some of that was kind of personal, and I don't want to get too crazy into it. I just want to say I want to vouch for them. And another person that I really wanted to vouch for was Dustin Browder. Dustin Browder, I think, is somebody that every single team, forget gaming, any team in the world, whether it be politics or gaming or even your own class project, you need someone like Dustin Browder. He was famously known for The Rock in StarCraft 2 because of some funny memes back in the day. But legitimately, Dustin Browder is the rock of any team. He brings a infinite amount of energy, and he has this capacity to help run a room, but also listen to the people around him. He's been in gaming for years. I think his biggest achievements was Command & Conquer in StarCraft 2, and of course Heroes of the Storm, which was close to my heart. But part of what makes him so good is his ability to listen to the entire team. A little anecdote about Team 1 is every single Friday when we were working on Heroes of the Storm, we had a 2-hour block where we did internal playtests and we sat down and played the game. And what was great about it is everyone, there was about 200 people at the time, I know, there was a lot of people working on HOTS, would sit down and play Heroes of the Storm and give back feedback. It could be something about balance changes, a new character coming out, the pipeline, how it's working, new art. There was always something new to show every single Friday, and everyone at Blizzard would have the ability to say a word about it. And it was all in an email chain. We had a massive email chain where everyone could respond. Here's their thoughts. Here's the match. This character might be a little bit too strong. Ooh, I like this feature. This design is really awesome. And Dustin Browder sat down every single Friday night and Monday morning with the rest of his design team, because they were awesome as well, and read through those notes and personally responded to where everyone could see it, where his thoughts were, what they were thinking, what the design team was thinking, who we should talk to if we want to make something work. He was literally the bridge between the game being created and the people that could get things done so we can get it released. Dustin Browder is phenomenal, and his energy was fantastic. Now, Dreamhaven did mention a couple of games that they will be releasing relatively early, and some are even available to be playing right now. You have Thunderfolk, which the entire idea seems to be bringing the board game to your TV at home, and you can play with your phone, which is awesome. Not something that I'm really going to be jumping into, but hey, maybe something that I might play in the future or jump around with. It's not something that as a content creator I'm going to spend a lot of time on, but it is a fantastic idea and something that a lot of design folk do that you probably don't realize in a lot of development teams is they go crazy on board games, man. They're either playing them, they're getting the new stuff, they have collections, they are maybe working on their own board games on the side. Like, I think you're in really good hands if you're a board game enthusiast with this project, so I would keep an eye on it if you do enjoy board games. Linked is another game that is being produced by Dreamhaven, but it comes from the developer FuzzyBot. It's a survival craft apocalyptic game with a cozy atmosphere, as they kept saying the entire time. It's not really something that I'm going to jump into. I don't really enjoy survival games. Like Stardew Valley, I got like halfway through and I dropped it. I just kind of get bored with that type of play style. But it's awesome this kind of stuff is coming out. I know survival games are really popular for a lot of players nowadays, and that's why you see every company dropping them. I mean, Nintendo Direct just had a Direct where they dropped, I think, like 4 survival games. So it's great that they are working on it, and I'm sure they're going to have a fantastic relationship with FuzzyBot and get out a wonderful product. The next game is Mechabellum, which I actually played a couple of years ago. I tested out in a playtest, and I think it's actually officially released in 2024. And Mechabellum seems pretty awesome. It's an auto chess that focuses on RTS mechanics, but you don't have to go for, as mentioned by Mike Morheim, all the APM. I've seen a few of my streamer friends kind of playing this. I've seen Day9 in particular playing it a lot, and I have a lot of people in my chat that do play it, and they vouch for it. So I'm actually going to spend some time next week checking it out and get an idea of what I feel about it. And if I do enjoy it, I'll upload a couple of videos. The great part about this is this really bleeds into what Mike Morheim believes and enjoys. He is an RTS nuts. He loves the esports. He played the games themselves. In fact, the first time I met him was when I got hired on to Team 1 for Heroes of the Storm Community Management, and I was actually staying after to practice some games. I was playing StarCraft 2 and checking out Heroes of the Storm on one of its beta builds, and he came in at 5:30 at night and actually played a couple of games with us. So it's awesome that Game River has this opportunity to work with Dreamhaven and allow them to be a producer for their game. I think the collaboration there is going to put a lot of emphasis on what exactly Dreamhaven can do in the future, so I'll keep an eye on this one. I'm kind of curious if it's an esport worthy one or not, or if it's just pure auto chess for funds, but this kind of really shows that still those roots are still there for the folks that were at Team 1 and Blizzard and are now doing their own thing, but with a different company. They still love their RTS, and RTS folks should keep an eye on Dreamhaven. Now, this was the big reveal that came out. Wildgate is going to be a game coming out from Dreamhaven from one of their internal studios, Moonshot, which is headed by Dustin Browder. Now, first impressions and first trailer look, it looks like it's going to be Sea of Thieves out in space, but from what it sounds like, that's not entirely accurate. There have been a couple of playtest people that have mentioned that it's much more PvP focused and more about living in the moment, which I kind of really enjoy. It seems like Dustin Browder and his team are going for a procedurally generated map, which means you're going to have to be on your toes and be flexible with strategy, which is awesome. I'm hoping there's a lot of tools, a lot of things to mess with, a lot of different strategies, things like that, because that's where games can be a lot of fun. I think nowadays games can get a little bit rough when you have the constant repetitive experience, you know, the same map, same weapons, same heroes. You get a couple of balance changes here and there to mix it up, but a map that is constantly changing and not the same storyline each time will force players to be, one, working together, which I think is going to increase communication, and then two, make you learn different play styles, which I think is where games can be a lot of fun. You know, net decking is a popular term, and you use that across the board as people just kind of copy and paste things and then just go with whatever is the best strategy based off of some third-party API website. And I think this type of design will help tackle some of those problems and allow for people just to be good at the game, not good at copying what they see on the internet, which makes me really excited for Wildgate. The first playtest is going to be on April 10th, and I am going to be there all single day streaming it and checking it out, and I cannot wait. I'm hoping that this is going to be a future of strategy games that we have been wanting to have for a long time, and I can't say this enough. I think Dustin Browder leading the charge is going to give us something special. Every game that he has worked on has been special. So yeah, with that all being said, I'm excited for the games. Obviously, Thunderfolk and Linked aren't my cup of tea, but I do think Mechabellum and Wildgate will be something that you'll be probably seeing a lot of on my channel. If you're excited for it, let me know in the comments below. And heck, man, Dreamhaven, if you guys have heard this video or saw this video and you need my help on anything, please let me know. I didn't really make this as like a job application or like a contract application, but man, I really believe in what you guys are doing over there. If you need any help, let me know. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.